for being here. Now, listen, if you have some issues with the internet or whatever, just if you fall off, just jump on back in and let's share. While you're coming in, let me know if I'm clear. Remember, I told you to show up for your life means to be clearly visible. So if I am clear, for those of you who are here, let me know clear. Just shout clear. Just come on and say clear. And we're going to have this conversation. Day one was amazing. For those of you who are just coming in and you're wondering, who am I? Maybe you're passing by Facebook, or maybe you're on YouTube and you see a live video and you're wondering, who is this lady? My name is Chika Hunt. I am Coach Chika. I am the strategy coach, aka show up coach. And I help you. Thank you. Yes, we're live. We're clear. I'm clearly visible. That means that I have showed up for my life. Listen, if you registered on the on my website, chikahunt.com, it may have led you to a Zoom link. My apologies. We shifted and did StreamYard just because I just wanted to have that personal face-to-face, one-on-one conversation and not have to feel like I got to try to go to all the other different views. So thank you for joining us on today. Let's see. Let's get some housekeeping rules together. This is day 2. Day 1 was simply phenomenal. We learned about what story are we telling ourselves? What stories have we been telling ourselves? What lies have we been telling ourselves that's possibly been hindering us from showing up fully for our life? And we talked about where that story came from. We talked about how those stories were maybe told to us by someone that did not understand our value or our worth, maybe a friend, maybe a family member, maybe an ex-spouse, or maybe just someone that just don't know what vision looks like. We talked about how that story came and how it have hindered our process and hindered our progress from fully showing up. And so today, we've already made the decision on yesterday that we were no longer going to allow ourselves to believe the story of the enemy. We were no longer going to allow the inner me. We will no longer allow those stories to be told to ourselves, but we will begin to tell ourselves a different kind of story. And what does that look like? The only way you can come up with a different story is you have to have a different vision. You have to have a different thought pattern. You have to have a different mindset. There must be a shift in your thinking. It does not matter what somebody else thinks about you. What matters is what you think about you. And so when you fail to see yourself the way God created you, the way he sees you, then you fail to really value yourself. I tell a story about, that's right, be true to you. I tell a story about my daughter. I have a book, and this book is very valuable to me. This book is a Strong's Concordance book. It's an old book. It's a book I've had for a very long time. And in my study time, those of you, I'm going to reintroduce myself because possibly somebody may chime in today that don't know who I am and don't know my story. But let me just tell this quick story, and then we'll go back and move forward. I have this book. And I study, those of you who follow me know that I am a pastor. I'm an apostle of One Heart International Church here in Houston, Texas. I co-pastor, co-partner with my best half, Pastor Alfred Hunt. We've been married for 30 years together, 34 years, just celebrated the big 30. And we have some amazing things we're working on for that. For those of you who want to know how to stay married past 30 years, yeah, you're going to have to stay tuned and log back in for another conversation. But we were talking about my book. And so one day I studied with this book often for many, many years. I studied with the book, and all of a sudden the book came up missing. And I looked everywhere for the book, and eventually I forgot about the book. I think I may have purchased another book and started studying from that book instead. Well, months passed, and one day I was in my oldest daughter's room cleaning up. And as I was cleaning up, I went to raise up her comforter, and there was my book under her bed, propped up. holding her bed up. Her bed had fell, and she was using my valuable book to prop her book up, prop her bed up. So I pulled the book up. I looked at it. It had dents and holes in it. Why? Because I valued the book, but my daughter did not know the value of that book. So what she saw it as a bed holder upper. I saw it as a book full of wealth and knowledge, and it's a Strong's Concordance. So if you're a study of the scripture, you know how valuable it is. It has all of the words in Hebrew, Greek, and it breaks everything down. If you find scriptures and all that amazing stuff. So I knew the value of this book, but she did not know the value of my book. So when someone does not know the value of something, abuse is inevitable. I'm going to say that again. When you don't know the value of what you carry, if others don't know the value of what you possess, abuse is inevitable. You will abuse what you don't value. You will abuse those gifts. You will abuse those talents. You will abuse that wisdom. You will abuse that knowledge. You will abuse what you bring to the world when you don't know the value of what you have to offer the world. And so this day 2 is about your show up today. And it is about helping you understand your value. It is about helping you understand what you bring to the world. So our core discussion today is about, if you're going to show up today. Yesterday we learned you must be intentional, and you must be aware of the story that you're telling yourself. But today we're going to talk about value and vision. Day 2 is about knowing your value and knowing your vision. See, you cannot show up any day if you don't know your value. You cannot show up any day if you do not have vision. For the scripture says, there's a scripture that says, without a vision, the people perish. That word perish in the Greek means they're without restraint. So you know what that means? That means when you don't know your vision, you don't have a vision, you don't have clarity about where you want to take your life, then you are without restraint, which means you're all over the place, right? It means that you're all over the place when you don't know your value. Without a vision, the people perish. That word perish does not necessarily mean die. It means to be without restraint. Perish is one of those definitions, but to be without restraint simply means that you have no discipline. See, without restraint means I have no discipline, I have no vision, I have no purpose, I have no real clarity about where I want my life to go. And so what day 2 is about is helping you understand your value so that you can live out your vision. See, if you do not understand those two things, then you won't understand the power of what it means to show up for your life today. Right now, I'm in the process of launching the Show Up Today journal and the Show Up Today planner. Why do I need to get those things in your hand? Why are those things important? Because when you have vision, you have to always have something present to help you journal and keep up with what you're being revealed, what's being shown to you. Now, I'm going to say this again. Those of you who may chime in and you may have a different belief, you may not be a Christian. That does not disqualify you from being a part of this group. However, my teachings are biblically based coaching. This is what I've done for many years now, biblically based coaching. And I do spiritual development and personal development. Why? Because I personally, my life was transformed and changed by the application of the scriptures, the application of wisdom, the application of gaining knowledge and understanding through the scripture. Okay. And so many people teach and use scripture. They may not give it a name, or they may not, the whole thing about The Secret. Everybody talked about The Secret. A lot of people shied away from The Secret. They said that was a new age principle. But the reality of it is The Secret talks about the law of reciprocity, which says whatever you put out, that's what's coming back. Well, that's a biblical principle, because the scripture says, I believe it's in, Galatians 5:9. I may have to pull it up for you, but it says, be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever a man sow, that very thing shall he reap. If someone want to pull that up and put that in the comment box, that will be very helpful for me. But what it says, be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever a man sow, that's what he's going to reap, which means whatever you put out in the world is what's coming back. So the secret is really not a secret. All it was is a wisdom principle, a truth that someone took and packaged it up and reintroduced it to the world and called it their own. But it is a principle which says that whatever I'm putting out, that's what I'm getting back. So this is why we have to be very careful how we operate in the world. You know, there's another scripture said, if you want to be friends, if you want a friend, make yourself friendly, right? And so these are things that we talk about when we talk about without a vision, the people are without restraint. They mean that they're all over the place. They have no clarity. They have no direction. You know, we've met people that don't have restraint. You know, we'll see them and they're just doing whatever. They're doing this and that. And today they're doing this and tomorrow they're doing that. And guess what? I'm a true believer in using all your gifts. I'm one. I have a friend that says I'm bragging on God, and she said I'm bragging, and she says I'm being real about God. When I say I'm bragging, I'm being real about God. So I brag on him in the sense that he's given me many gifts. But one of the things that I had to learn on my journey of possessing many gifts is you have to learn how to be a master of there's a saying that says you can be a jack of all trades, but a master of none. You could be a jack of all trades, but the master of none. I was that person for many years. I knew how to do a lot of things, but I had not mastered anything. So that's one of those things where we can really apply. Thank you, Galatians 6 and 7 through 9, I believe. That's probably where that 9 comes in. Thank you, Facebook user. Thank you so much. But I was one of those people that I had many gifts, but was not a master of none until I met someone, LaShonda Gary, Minister LaShonda Gary, Coach LaShonda Gary. We went to lunch one day and she said something to me some years back. She said, you have to learn how to eat from the lowest hanging fruit. All right, Ida, I figured that was you. Good to see you again. Good to have you back on here, VIP member. Good to have you back on here. And so she said, you have to learn how to eat from the lowest hanging fruit. So that has been my new mantra. What does that mean? We're still talking about vision. We're still talking about knowing your value. See, when you have been given a gift, you've been given a talent, you've been given the ability to operate in different ways. You have to know which one do I need to benefit from right now to produce the harvest that I need. Woo! That right there gets me excited. I'm telling you, because that was the game changer for me. You know, I had to learn how to eat from the lowest hanging fruit. That means while we're trying to climb up to try to get to the fruit that's at the top, the one that's hanging the lowest is the one that I can reach, and I can utilize that right now, and I can benefit from that. Okay, I'll give you an example of what does that mean? What does that look like, Coach Cheek? I'm glad you asked. I said this on yesterday when the pandemic started. I was a retired hairstylist. I said I was done with doing hair. I didn't want to do hair anymore. And I stopped doing hair and went into the insurance field and got my insurance license. Many people don't know that I worked for State Farm for some years. And I was so unhappy there because I was not operating in my gifting because I'm not an office. That's not me. I'm a creative. And that doesn't take away from those of you that are called to the office, you know, to corporate, but it's not me. I'm a creative. Creatives have to be out creating. So tell you a funny story. When I worked for State Farm, because of the ministry that I have on the inside of me, my boss loved me. I mean, I was one of the top sales. I was good in my field. I sold insurance. I sold life insurance. I didn't even have life insurance license. I had auto and home license, right? But I was good. Why? Because I would get on the phone And people would call in and maybe they were having a hard time about their finances. And I will begin to minister to them and speak life into them and pray for them on the call. And one day my boss calls me in the office and he says to me, you can't be on the phone that long. You can't be on there ministering to people. You got to sell, right? And so I was, but my heart and my passion for helping people was still just bubbling up on the inside of me. So I found, so I stayed there a few years, and eventually the Lord transitioned me out and called me into full-time ministry. Is how I became a pastor, for those of you who want to know that story. But my passion is to be out with the people, creating, talking, ministering, touching lives. That's just who I have been designed to be, right? And so, but back to this lowest hanging fruit. So I walked away from the hair field. Well, in the pandemic hit, of course, everything was shut down. Nobody was working. My daughter was in the hair business. All of my children have picked up this gift, and she was doing hair. And, I talked about that yesterday, Her Glory Hair, a little shameless plug, right? And hergloryhair.com. Yes. And so I started helping her make wigs and color wigs, and before you knew it, I was in full-time salon again. Well, that was my lowest hanging fruit. That was the season that I was in. I'm still in that season now. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm transitioned now to another salon, and it's blooming and blossoming, and I'm still doing that, as well as pastoring and coaching and writing books and all those things. But when you are creative, I'm helping the creative on here, for the one that says, but I got all these gifts and all these talents and I don't know what to do. So we're trying to do them all at one time. Well, guess what? I had to get the one thing, master that one thing. Let that be my lowest hanging fruit, which means that's how I pay my bills. That's how I take care of my day-to-day necessities, right? There's no bunch of money in pastoring. That we don't get into it for the money. Some do, but not me, right? And so that's not it. But I had to be willing to go and eat from the lowest hanging fruit, so that and use that fruit for my benefit, right? And so that's what I talk about not being without restraint. Without a vision, the people are without restraint. The people perish. You have to have a plan. And you must be strategic, and you must learn to eat from the lowest hanging fruit. Listen, even with the vision to start a business, even with a vision to launch out and partner with someone, that doesn't mean that you take all your eggs and put it in that one basket and just focus on that business. No. You know what? It takes capital to start a business. It takes connections to start a business. It takes skill to start a business. It takes, re-educating yourself to start a business, right? There's so many things that come into it. Takes strategy, right? The scripture says that no man buys a field except he first count the cost, right? It takes counting the cost. You got to know what it is that you want to do. And you have to sit down with that vision, and sit down with that thought, and sit down with that valuable idea and count the cost. You have to know your number. You have to know how much money it's going to take to get that business up and going, or to write that book, or even if go back to school, the hours, you're changing time for money, right? And so even going back to school, you have to know, you have to have a plan. Or do you need to do online? Do you need to be physically present? Depending on the way you learn, you may need to be physically present. What is that going to look like for you? What is that going to look like for your family if you're taking hours out of time? Is it the right time to go back to school? Is it the right time to launch a business? Is it the right time? So all these things are so important when we talk about knowing you, having a vision and knowing your value, right? So we said that without a vision, the people are without restraint. Then Habakkuk 2:2-3-4 says that says to write the vision and make it plain, right? Write the vision and make it plain. So behind me, you see a vision board. In this vision board, I literally took my time. I did not just cut out a magazine and, get magazines and, just begin to just get stuff out of there. I was very strategic about this vision board. I went on Pinterest and I was very strategic about what I wanted to put on my vision board, right? I was very strategic about what I wanted to see happen in my life, right? And so I didn't just, it looks busy, but I didn't just grab these items. I was strategic. I sat down and I wrote out what I wanted to see happen in my life in within a time frame. But I'm sharing this with you for a reason. I want, and I want to have a transparent moment with you. This is Coach Chica. Now we're talking about showing up today. We're talking about knowing our value and having vision. Yesterday we talked about what story you're telling yourself and about what you're going to have to do different. Tell yourself another story and be intentional. So now I want to talk about this vision, knowing your value and having vision, right? Yes, 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 yes. I listen, we can do that. We can do that. So what I did was I took about, it may look like a lot, but I took about maybe 10 things that I wanted to see happen. And I was very strategic about it. And so the very thing that I teach, I showed up for my life, is here. I don't just tell it, I live it. Okay. So what I did was I said my wealth. I talked about my health. I talked about my spirit and soul, right? My spirit and soul. Do I have my spirit and soul up there? I don't think I have my spirit and soul up there this time. And probably because I said, you know what? I'm in a good place spiritually. So let's focus on the things that I really wanted to see happen, right? So let's go to health. On this section, I don't know if you can see it here. I have here a picture of a training, someone being trained, personal trainer, and then I have an image of what I want to look like. I don't want to, let me see, should I take this? Let me take the phone off for just a second because I want y'all to get a good look at this. This is the beauty of being on here. So y'all bear with me. I want you to see this. I want you to see this. I want you to see this vision board. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Y'all can still hear me pretty good. I want you to see something. Here. Am I there? Okay, here. What I did. There's a lady here being trained here, personal trainer. And then up there at the top is a picture of what I want it to look like. Don't judge me, okay? It's what I want to look like. Now, you may have your own vision, right? And my accountability partner, is really good to have accountability partner. My accountability partner, Coach Tyson, those many may know her as Pastor Aquila Tyson. She said, get a picture of yourself, of what you want to look like, and put your face on it. Now, my face not on there because I never did get around to that, but I did share it with her, but I didn't put it up, right? And I put that, and guess that's my health. Look at this, my health. HEALT right there, right? And this is my health corner. I got a little thing say healthy living there, right? I'm making power moves, right? Those are some of the things that I focused on in my vision because my body has value. I got to know the value of my health. I got to know the value of what I want to see happen in my life, right? Here's my wealth. I talk about the SHOW, wealth, the wealth in there. I wanted to become, I want money. Guess what? Guess what I did here? I created a board. I wrote myself a check there, financial freedom. And I came up with a strategy based off of what I found on Pinterest of ways that I can begin to save money. I got money up there, money under there, right? It's the reason I'm taking the time to show y'all this. This is important. Not just my board is pretty. I want to travel, right? I got my little Louis Vuitton luggage, my little, my own plane, got my little plane there, right? I was very intentional. But this is why I'm coming close here because I want to show y'all something. This is very important. Right here, my goal was to go to Paris for my 50th birthday. I was born in Frankfurt, Germany. I wanted to do like a tour. I had a 10-day South Paris, France, and the tour. And I'll get, I'll stop with this. Okay. Got my little German flag, got my little Paris. Watch this. Let me tell you what happened. 50 came. No Paris. And I was praying about it, and I said, Lord, I was supposed to be in Paris for my 50th. I was supposed to be in Paris for my 50th. Now, this is what I'm telling the Lord. Y'all bear with me. Put my phone back on its post. I said, I'm supposed to be in Paris for my 50th. You know, I don't have all of the fanfare with the backdrop and all that stuff, but this is what I decided to do because I want to keep it simple. I said this to God. I was supposed to be in Paris for my 50th. He said, yes, you wrote the vision for it. I said, well, what happened? He said, you put the vision up, but you did nothing to prepare for it. You didn't put a Paris fund to the side. I'm having a transparent moment. You did not, you didn't have a plan. You have the vision, but you had no strategy. You did not apply the strategy to what it is that you said you wanted to do. I'm helping somebody already in 32 minutes. It's not enough to just have a vision board. It's not enough to just write the vision and make it plain. Faith without works is dead. So you have to go from having a vision, writing the vision, and then coming up with a strategy. And I'm giving away a lot already. But my clients that I have coached in the past will tell you this, that when we had a plan or a vision to do something, you had to have at least 5 things that you were willing to do to produce those things. Now, in my defense, I have to say this. There's some things that happened during that time, and it pushed me back. And so I was not able to really strategically prepare like I should have, but I knew to. So instead of me having a pity party about not being in Paris on my 50th, I had to own the fact that I was not strategic about the strategy. I had to own the fact that I was not intentional about wanting to be in Paris for my 50th. Somebody may think, well, what's the big deal about that? It's my desire. And God said he'll give us the desires of our heart. But that doesn't mean that we do nothing. It doesn't mean that we ask God to give us the desires of our heart and then we do nothing. No, we must be strategic. And what does strategy mean? Those of you who I have coached, what is a strategy? Strategy is a plan of action. Strategy is defined as a plan of action. I wrote the vision. It's very clear. You can see very clearly the things that I want to do. I want to play the piano. I have a piano that I bought, a little toy piano in my closet. But I did not take time strategically to start preparing. I did a little homework. I wanted to become fluent in Spanish, right? I wanted to learn. These are things that I have. But at the same time, even though I wrote the vision and the vision is still clear, there's certain things, just like I had to get strategic about my health. I've dropped 19 pounds as of today from when I did this. I did that part because that was my focus, right? That was my focus. So you too must have a strategy. I'm sorry, guys, because it feels like I'm leaning a little bit. I'm going to make sure it's not leaning, right? So very important. While I'm talking, I want you to ask yourself the question, what is it that you want to see happen? Now, I'm going to tell you, a lot of times this kind of talk turns people off because we think it's just about having a board and cutting out a lot of newspaper stuff and, out your magazine and just posting stuff up there. I want to go, I want to travel. Well, what are you going to do to travel? What are you going to be willing to do? What are you going to be willing to give up? What kind of vacation savings do you need to open up and set aside just for vacation? What are you going to be willing to give up? Are you going to be willing to make your own coffee at home instead of stopping by Starbucks every day and let that $5 or $6 go into your savings account? I'm talking about knowing your value. I'm talking about having vision. If you're going to have a vision board and you're going to be strategic about what you want to see happen, you must have a plan of action. You must have a strategy. Listen, if this coaching session is helping you right now, you need to share it. See, and we don't want accountability. We don't want to do the work. We want it to just happen. It's not going to just happen. There are things that we have to put in place if we're going to see what we want to see manifest in our lives. We must have clarity. We must have vision, and we must know our value. Do you know your value? No more DoorDash. You can do DoorDash. DoorDash is not a bad thing. Can I help you? Oh, okay. She said no more ordering DoorDash. Okay, got it. I was going to say, because guess what? When I was trying to purchase my home and I was not, quote unquote, in the salon, I did Uber. I did all these different things because I'm not too above doing what I needed to do. But guess what? I didn't really have to do those things. All I had to do was tap into my gifting. All I had to do was tap into what I knew was possible. All I had to do was tap into. There you go. That DoorDash that you're spending, the money you're spending on DoorDash, you can go to the grocery store, buy you some groceries, cook to the best of it. Don't mean that you can't enjoy life. Don't mean that you cannot be strategic about I'm going to DoorDash once a week or twice a week. I'm not going to do it every day. I'm not going to go out and eat with my friends every week. I got to start making some decisions. I got to do something different if I'm going to learn how to show up today. Because I need you to understand that when you decide to show up every day for your life, then you'll begin to see change. You'll begin to see growth. You'll begin to see that savings come together so that you can begin to, I can get the first class. I can get those new luggage, right? I can go to Paris. I can go to Germany. I can save $10,000. If you see that up there, I said I wanted to save, $10,000 toward my vision. Right? That's not a lot of money. Yours may be 100,000, maybe 50,000, whatever it is. It's not going to just osmosisly end up in your savings account is what I'm telling you. You're not going to just have a bewitched moment. That's what we did. We watched when we were kids. She would snap her fingers. We didn't realize there was a whole witch back then, but that's a whole nother story. But that's what we saw. And you're just going to be present. No, it's going to take strategy. It's going to take a plan of action. It's going to take commitment and dedication to your vision and to the value that you have placed on yourself. It's going to take showing up. Now, listen, I have an office. I have office at the church. I have office, you know what? But I had to create a fail-proof environment. I needed to be able to be somewhere. I'm at home. I need to be able to be somewhere where I can be present. And I'm not trying to get here and get here just so that I can talk to you about showing up today. Every day, it is a recommitment to showing up. Every day, you must choose. Every day. You know what I say every day? There's a scripture I quote. I say, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad. And I declare that when I wake up every day. What am I doing? I am making a declaration that today I will experience joy. Today I will embrace everything that the Father has designed for me. I will live the abundant life. I will be successful. I will help somebody grow. I will help somebody evolve. I will help somebody succeed. I will help somebody soar into their destiny. I will help somebody get clarity about their vision. I will help somebody get clarity about their time and their having strategy. If you're going to show up today, you must understand value and you must understand vision. We've talked about vision. Now let's talk about value a little deeper. Do you value time? I did a retreat called the Trifold Woman about a year or so ago, a little small retreat. And I was given the vision. It was for the wife, the mother, and the minister. And I talked about, one of the things we talked about was knowing where your day goes, knowing how to manage your time. Time management, understanding the value of proper time management. And what I encourage the ladies to do, this is just one of many things. We're talking about strategy now. I make a choice to rejoice and be glad in it. That's it. You get to choose it. You do not have to let life happen to you. You can happen to life. You don't have to just let things happen and let other people determine your level of joy. Let other people determine your level of peace. Let other people determine your level of growth. Let other people determine your level of maturity. Come on. So my question to you is, do you understand the value of time? There's a scripture in the book of Ephesians, I believe it's fourth chapter, but it talks about redeeming the time for the days are evil. Talk about making the most of your time, for the days are evil. Do you know that word redeem? It is the same word. Have you ever got a coupon in the mail and it says redeem this for $10, redeem this for $20? Or you go to the store and hey, you have your coupon with you and you can get $10, $20 off because it's a redemption. Well, redeem your time is the word buy back. Buy back your time. I taught this. I taught a session one time called Making Your Minutes Matter. Put that in the comment box. You have to learn, if you're going to show up today, you have to learn how to make your minutes matter. You must be strategic about the value of time. You must value your time. You must know where your time goes. Do you know that if you don't have a plan for your time, your day will get away from you? How many times have you started your day? And when you looked up, it was 12 o'clock. You said, oh my God, where did the day go? You did not buy back your time. I have something that I do every day. Every day, I get up, I acknowledge God. I acknowledge him. I say the Lord's Prayer. I worship him. And then I drop my husband off. I'm challenging this area too. It's okay. It's okay. That's what we're here for today. I used to have a really big problem with time. Very, very bad. I mean, and to the point of, even being late. It's why I'm struggling, trying to make sure I'm on here in a timely manner, because I don't want to be late. I don't want to be labeled as late, right? And sometimes I do still drop the ball, but it's mindfulness. It's mindfulness. When I talk about perfection, if you're looking for perfection, you might as well log off now, because I ain't her. And I'm using those ebonics. I ain't her. I am not the perfect person. But I know that success leaves clues. And I not only teach people how to show up for their life, I follow people that have showed up for their life. I listen to people. I surround myself with people that are doing it and doing it well and doing it successfully. That is what you have to do if you're going to be effective in your day. And so we talk about buying back your time, valuing your time, valuing your vision. What does that look like? I'm gonna give you an example. I gave a sheet of paper, and on this sheet of paper, I had, a clock. And on this clock, you have to fill in what you do, what you have been doing with your day, from the time you get up to the time you end the day. And you have to be honest with yourself about what that looks like. You must be honest with yourself about what you're doing with your time. And you know what? Many of us don't want to write it down. I have a friend of mine who we talk about our health and our wellness. And I talk about the apps that I use. I use an app, to help me keep up with my calories and make sure that I don't go over my calories, make sure I eat enough food. And my friend said something, and we all do this. She said, I do too, but I don't use it because I'm too ashamed to write down what I ate for the day. How sad is that? Because guess what that says? There's no accountability. I don't want accountability. I'm not willing to make the necessary changes that I need to make to be a better me, so that I can be better. No, I tag in everything, even that little extra piece of candy that I know I shouldn't have ate. I had my sister-in-law laughing the other night. Y'all, if you know me, I'm just as real as I know how to be. I've exercised. I worked out that day. I came home and my husband loves Nutty Buddies. And he had ate one Nutty Buddy and left one. Who you think ate that other piece of Nutty Buddy right before I went to sleep? Me. Guess what? I loved it. And guess what? Because I'm aware of what I do and I have a strategy and plan, it didn't take from anything. I still have room for that calorie, right? So this is what I'm talking about. I'm using that as a funny and as an example, but it's the same thing with your time. Hold yourself accountable to your day. Everybody gets somebody say, I need this, just ain't enough hours in a day. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You get the same 24 hours as the person in Africa gets. It may be a different time zone. There may be a different time zone in California, maybe a different time zone in Florida, but you get the same time as I get. What you do with that time is going to determine your success. You are a sum total of the choices that you make every day. Put that in the comment box. My life is reaping the results. I am the sum total of the choices that I make every day. Today, I woke up. Sometimes, now let me say this. Sometimes life will change and you have to know how to shift with the transition. You have to know how to make the unnecessary shift and adjustment, right? I'm in that season. I've had to adjust my mornings. I used to just get up and go to the gym at 5 a.m. and work out and, then come back and start my day. But my circumstances have shifted. So now I have to drop some people off at work, have to do this, have to do that, right? But I still get to take charge of my time. Listen, watch this. This is going to be so good. Listen at this. This is good. This is going to help somebody. You don't have to see that vision anymore. It's going to help somebody. When something becomes important to you, you will prioritize that thing that's important to you. Working out for me is a priority. Working out for me is not an option. I guard that time. That means that I don't care who got to do what, unless you are bleeding, dying. I'm going and get my time in at the gym so that I can be the best version of myself for you. Now, remember, y'all, I coach in every area. So you hear me talk about a lot of things, but I believe that I'm helping somebody in every area. I'm helping you because I'm the show up coach, spirit, soul, health, opportunities, wealth, universal purpose, and physical man. I specialize in those places. I do personal and spiritual development. So when I'm talking about health, you got to be healthy in order to live out the fullness of your life in this body. You must be healthy. I have to be healthy if I'm going to preach every Sunday, if I'm going to coach you, if I'm going to stand behind the chair and do hair, if I'm going to be a good author and a good content creator, if I'm going to do whatever it is I'm called to do, we must be healthy to make those things happen. We cannot make excuses. So you have to buy back your time. Somebody put that in the comment box. Buy back your time. If you watch it by YouTube, if you clicked on from TikTok, I saw a new name. Somebody signed up. I hope she made it on here in time. Right? Wherever you logged in on Facebook, you have to be true to thine own self and to thine own self be true. Be true to thine own self, to thine own self be true. Can I tell you, I don't always honor my time. And the days that I don't, I pay for it. The days that I do not honor my time, I pay for it. Watch this. And we've got about 10 minutes left, really about 5. There is a movie, and I can't think of the name of the movie, but I believe it's very important that I release this right now. There's a movie, where time is a mark on their hands. The rich had more time, and their marks. If you know the name of this movie, if you've seen it, put it in the comment box. It's kind of, you would think that it's kind of relatable. It's not a mark of the beast, but it's kind of a movie that talks futuristic, but it's a valid point what I'm gonna say, because I learned from everything. On this movie, you had strips on your hand, and it represented time. The rich people had more time than the poor people. And so I don't remember in full details, but the point that I'm making is there were certain things you had to do in order to not lose your time. Once those marks were gone, you were out of here. Let's say you had 5 marks and it all represented years of your life. I'm so glad we don't have it like that, because our times, the Bible says, teach us to number our days so that we may establish, we may establish his purpose in the earth. He said, life is but a vapor. And, today we're like the grass in the field. We're here today and tomorrow we're cast into the oven, right? You can have pretty green. We're in the spring now, so the grass is coming back real pretty. But when summer comes and it's hot, it's going to scorch that grass and it'll be brown and it'll be dead. Life is like that. Life is but a vapor. We don't know the day nor the hour when we will run out of that time. I'm glad I don't have to keep up with it with marks, but we are working on a timetable, and we do have a time to do the things that we've been created to do. So when we don't buy back our time or value our time or have a vision, we are I call them time stealers and destiny killers. Do you know people will rob you of time? People will rob you of destiny. I had to learn that I used to have people in my life that would take up all my time and I was not productive, but they were producing. Why? Because when they want to do what they want to do, they did it, but they would occupy all your time and I wouldn't get anything done because I was not valuing my time. So I want to challenge you in these next few moments when we talked about vision. I want you today. I'm coaching you from StreamYard. I'm coaching you from Facebook. I'm coaching you from YouTube. I'm coaching you from Women Who Show Up. I want you today to go to the dollar store and get you a board. And I want you to do something different that I learned. I learned this from a lady named Terry Savelle Foyer. You can find her on YouTube. I believe in sharing the things that I learned. She says, when you do your vision board this time, don't glue it. Get you some push pins and get you the kind of board that your push pin can go in. And see, all of my items are push pin items. I talked about becoming fluent in Spanish, right? I got a little push pin there so that when my vision change, I don't have to go and buy a whole nother vision board. All I have to do is move my items and put my little push pin there, right? And start fresh. Is that not a great idea? Know what you're doing with your time. Go get your vision board. Go on Pinterest and print out. I kid you not, guys. I went on Pinterest. I printed out all this stuff, went to Office Depot, invested in my vision board, and came home, went and bought all the little butterflies, all the other little stuff. You see, I went to Dollar Tree and bought packages of butterflies and different little sparkle things to make it stickers and stuff like that. You get that stuff from the dollar store. And be intentional. And put your vision board together. Gather some friends together if you want to. This is not anything new. People have been doing this for years, but I'm telling you, when you write the vision and make it plain so that they that read it can run with your vision, it will matter to you. I have on my door, each day I write the story of my life. Each day, when I walk out of my bedroom door, I see this sticker and it's on my closet door. Each day, I got this from the Dollar Tree. I write the story of my life. So when I walk out this door, I get to choose what kind of story I want to write. I get to choose what I do with my time. Have clarity, have vision. Even when you do your vision, I talked about strategy, and I'm almost done here. Make sure that you're strategic. I wanted to go to Paris. I literally had time to do it, but I did not have a plan, and I did not give myself a deadline. Give yourself a deadline. When you write this, when you do your vision board, give yourself a deadline. Say, I want to learn how to speak Spanish in the next 3 months, and put a date on it. I want to go to Paris. I will definitely be in Paris by this time next year. I've given myself a year, and it will be by March of 2025, if the Lord tarry and lets me live. You know, be strategic about what it is that you want to see happen in your life. Print you out a clock and draw you some lines. You don't even have to draw lines. You can go on Pinterest and find that and pencil in what you've been doing with your time. At least, now most people, if you work a 9 to 5, you know that you're at work from 8:30 to 5:30. But what are you doing before 8:30? Are you listening to an Audible book on your way to work? Or are you on the phone gossiping? Or are you worshiping on your way to work? When you get off of work, do you have your gym bag in the car? So that if you go home, you already know you're not going to the gym. Don't do it. Right? These are just things that you can do to help your success, help you succeed and become successful in what you desire. I'm just still talking about value and vision and showing up today. You are the sum total of the choices that you make every day. Your life is exactly where you are because of the choices you made. If it's weight, I am the size I am because of the choice that I made to put it in my mouth. If I'm struggling financially, it is a result of my lack of being a good steward over my finances and not valuing what God has given me. I've not valued the gift. I've not valued the time. I've not valued what I've been given. And I do not have clarity or clear vision for my life. So you buy back your time by giving your time an assignment. I don't want to leave you without the how I gave you the what, but now I'm giving you the how. Give your time an assignment. I know right now in this season I'm in, I know between the time of 8:30 and 10:30, I'm going to be at the gym. Somewhere in there. No ifs and buts about that. Now my schedule's getting ready to change, right? So I'm going to have to push my time back up. Got to get back in the gym by 5 a.m. I have to. It's not easy because I'm not an early morning riser, but most successful people are early morning risers. And that's how they make their day, make their minutes matter, and they buy back their time. Okay? So listen, we talked about valuing your gifts, valuing your times, having vision, having clear vision. See, you're very clear about what I want to do. I'm very clear about what I want to do. Right? What I want to accomplish. One of the things I'm well on my way. I've not mastered it, but I am 19 pounds down today. You're up at 4. See, that's excellent. You are an early morning riser. So you have a jump start over the ones that are sleeping later. There's so much you can do with that time, right? I'm sure you have that time with prayer. You have that time to meditate. But even when you get through, okay, so I say 4:30 a.m. for me. See, you guys understand the value of time. But you're up, but are you productive? That's the question you have to ask. Are you productive? What are you doing with that time? You don't have to tell us, but what are you doing with that time? Are you strategic about that time? Are you, after you spend your time, and those of you who pray or have to be at work, whatever the case may be, do you have a plan for the day? Do you already know what the day holds? Jim Rohn says this: don't live your week until you have lived your week. Meaning you've already planned out your week. You know what you're going to do. You have wrote in your timetable, your time factors, and you know what you want to accomplish. It's 1 o'clock. I'm out of time. Listen, thank you for the few of you that joined me on today. I hope I said something that really sparked an idea in you, that really sparked joy in you, that really sparked opportunity, clarity, gave you vision, gave you a new perspective and a new outlook on what it is that you want to see happen in your life. I'm telling you that if you begin to apply these strategies to your life, these plan of action, you will begin to see growth in your journey and in your life, and your life will be transformed. Very intentional about time. I'm so happy that you are. That means that you don't have to focus on that. That falls in opportunity, right? So you can now begin to focus on the things that you're struggling in, right? Focus on those things and then create a strategy and a plan of action to help you become better in that area. Okay? So I'm out of time. Listen, I never, ever, ever want to leave here without giving you an opportunity to join me for the VIP conversation. I'm offering those of you who want to keep this conversation going and you would like some coaching from me. I'm offering a $97 VIP session for you based around your timetable. Initially, I wanted to put it in a group immediately afterwards. But because we're not getting the response that I really would have loved to get. But if you know you want to be a part of and you want to have a session with me, I'm offering you a $97 5-day session. And this is let me tell you, this is a $1,400 savings. I cannot make this up. This is a $1,400 savings. My coaching sessions I'm offering this program that I have launched. It is a 63-day session, 2 months and 3 days session. And I'm offering it for $14.99. Okay. So you all are actually getting a 5-day session for $97. And that is me taking another hour with you to coach you and to just help you reach your goals and reach what it is that you set out to do. So if you want to take advantage of that, you can go onto the website, www.chikahunt.com, sign up for the $97 VIP course, and then I will reach out to you, someone, either me or someone from my staff, reach out to you and schedule your VIP session, okay? $97, okay? Every person that's been a part of this group for these 5 days, and you say, I need to be on that 2-month, 2-day journey with you. I'm offering the course instead of $14.99, I'm offering it for $9.99, and that's $999. It is a 63-day course where I will come alongside with you for 63 days. Why 63 days? It's been proven it takes 21 days, 3 consecutive 21 days for something to become a habit, not 21 days. 3 consecutive 21 days for your brain say, oh, this is what we're doing and we're not going back. And so that is for future reason. For those of you who want me to coach you along, I have payment plans set up. You don't have to pay it all at one time. We do have plans scheduled for you to be able to be a part of it, but you very well can take advantage of the $97 5-day VIP training that I want to offer you beyond this class. And I'm excited about it. I'm giving you 50 years, really. I'm 50 years old now. I've been a hairstylist for 30 years. So I've been coaching and counseling people for years. I've been a pastor now for about 10 years. I've been a certified life coach since 2016. And I'm telling you, I've seen people's lives transform. Some of my clients are on here now and they are re-signing up because, hey, they're like, hey, I know where you took me and I know where I want to go. And so they're ready to get started back up. And so if you want to take advantage of that opportunity, you can email me at ishowedupformylifeconference@gmail.com. And I would love to go on this journey with you. Or you can just go on chikahunt.com, get familiar with my splash page, and sign up for the VIP course there. It's there for $97. Or just continue on this journey with me for the rest of this week. And you have time to think about what you want to do by Friday, right? And so I'm here again tomorrow at 12 p.m., 12 noon, ready to show up for day 3. And I'm telling you, get excited because I can already tell you that your life is better than it was 2 days ago. No doubt about it. I can guarantee you that the tools, the strategies, the techniques that you have received today will catapult you unto your next. Because guess what? I did it for myself. It happened to me first. And as it happened to me, I can in turn give it to you. So I'm out of time. Lastly, I am taking about 20 ladies to Costa Rica, May 29th through June 1st. We are having our second international I Showed Up for My Life retreat. We were in Jamaica last year, May 29th through June 1st. We're going back May 29th through June 1st to Costa Rica, Liberia. Woo-hoo! We are excited. All-inclusive resort. We'll be staying at the Secret Papagoya. It's all inclusive, which means you show up and then you ain't got to do nothing else but show up. And you have everything free. Everything is not free, but everything is included in the package. And we're there. We're going to be having some amazing speakers. We're going to have some amazing girl time. We're going to have some amazing rest time. And it's going to be phenomenal. You still have time to register, okay? You still have time to register. Final registration is April 29th to get your payments in. If you want to go ahead and lock it in, you can pay, I believe it's $499 to lock in your conference portion. 99 will go towards your room, 400 will go towards your conference, and you have till April 29th to pay it off. That's about, I looked at it today. That is still 5 weeks from now. Right? Even it is. Today's the 2nd, but I looked at it. You have 5 weeks and you can still sign up and join me and some amazing ladies in Costa Rica, Liberia. So I'm telling you, we're showing up all over the world and I'm excited to show up with you. But if you cannot join us internationally, you can join me right here tomorrow at 12 noon for the I Showed Up for My Life Challenge, 5-day challenge. It's getting gooder and gooder already. I thank you in advance. And for those of you who signed up for VIP, I will see you after the class. If you want to sign up, chikahunt.com. Sign up for $97 and let's continue the conversation. Until tomorrow, have a great and wonderful day. Bye now.